what differ in the mains examination? Mains examination needs the thematic preparation. Along with that particular thematic preparation, in the mains examination, we do also need to integrate multiple kind of things with respect to, let's say, the subjects like geography, that has to be related with society. The geography has to be related sometimes with polity. Geography has to be related with the disaster management, or let's say security, or let's say economy, right? Why the Bay of Bengal में जो cyclones ज़्यादा आते थे, why the number of cyclones have now increased comparatively even in the Arabian Sea also. Recurring related phenomena, thunderstorm, the coverage is comparatively to the point, direct and precise. Basically, that is for the need of the mains examination. So good afternoon everyone. I hope that all of you are doing good. I am Vishal Salsekar, and today I am going to discuss the approach for the general studies geography from the perspective of 2025 mains examination. Right, but before discussion about the approach of geography or any other subject, let's first discuss about what kind of difficulties or what kind of issues as an aspirant we faces when it comes to preparation of the subjects like geography, right? So there will be certain kind of issues that as an aspirant you might be facing with respect to geography. So let's discuss about those particular issues one by one. The first important issue that every one of us faces in order to transition from the prelims to mains, because prelims is more or less talking about the factual aspects along with incorporation of the conceptual things. But one benefit with respect to prelims is that the answer is in front of us. If through certain kind of permutations or combination we are able to derive this particular answer, or through certain kind of elimination techniques, those particular things we can get from those particular answer which are in front of us, right? So this shifting from prelims to mains based approach is one such issue. Now when we are preparing for the prelims, generally we are reading the books in a comparatively linear manner, because regarding one such conceptual thing only the questions are being asked, if not about the factual things. But what differ in the mains examination? Mains examination needs the thematic preparation. Along with that particular thematic preparation, in the mains examination we do also need to integrate multiple kind of things with respect to, let's say, the subjects like geography, that has to be related with society. The geography has to be related sometimes with polity. Geography has to be related with the disaster management, or let's say security, or let's say economy, right? So it needs the interdisciplinary approach. So basically when we are preparing for this particular prelims aspect, generally this much interdisciplinary approach is not needed. But when it comes to the mains examination, predominantly it is going to be asked about the interdisciplinary aspect. For example, day before yesterday, there was a cloudburst event in the Himachal Pradesh region. Now, a few days back, there were certain kind of flash floods, let's say in the Balasore region of Odisha. Now, piling up on these particular issues will be the questions that UPSC might be asking relating the event of the climate change to the rising of the incidents of, let's say, cloudburst, or let's say any kind of issues, let's say the glacial lakes. So basically what UPSC is focusing upon, UPSC is focusing upon the interdisciplinary approach. So with respect to the mains, one another issue is the lack of interdisciplinary approach, right? This is also sometimes lacking when we are specifically preparing from the perspective of prelims, and we are referring that material from the perspective of prelims only at all the point of time. This is the another major issue which the aspirant faces. Another major issue that the aspirant faces is that in geography also sometimes there is a need to incorporate some data, facts, example. So these particular things are also lacking, because generally when we are referring to the NCERTs, the data is not that much updated. And when we have to integrate the current affairs in those particular things, generally we are preparing for current affairs in silo as well as for the general studies subjects in silo, right? So basically there is a lack of integration of data, facts, current affairs, and these particular things are lacking because we are preparing in silo. Preparation in silos means subject by subject we are differing. Even from the perspective of a student who is not that much acquainted with how to prepare this particular subject of geography, is that he or she is reading the material of geography separately. When it comes to the oceanography, it is restricting to oceanography. When it comes to the climatology, it is restricting to climatology only. So basically what happens actually when the UPSC is asking question, we are not able to write that much value added pointers. Next is, and this particular thing we can say is also the value addition, which is lacking at the student's end. Another issue with respect to the preparation from the mains perspective is because mains perspective demands certain kind of presentative elements. So basically the tools of presentation. For example, what you can utilize in the geography, there can be maps, there can be diagrams, there can be certain kind of flow charts to show the process, right? So all these kind of things have to be incorporated from the perspective of the mains examination, but for the prelims we are not preparing all these kind of things. Now the issue happens that the standard sources that we are referring to do not have that much presentative elements available that have the language. Now it depends upon your own improvisation of that particular content, how you are going to improvise that content and incorporate different kind of diagrams, certain kind of flow charts. But the problem is that the time period between prelims and mains is very less. Those who might have prepared for their own through the notes and all, that can incorporate those particular thing in the answer. But for those who have not yet incorporated certain kind of things in the notes, or those who have relied on the notes which are based just upon the content, here this particular aspect will be lacking in general. Last but not the least is the analysis of PYQs and understanding the psychology of PYQ. See, it's not only which is important is to refer to the PYQs in the manner the question was asked. No, we have to take the cues from PYQ also. We have to understand that why UPSC had asked in this particular year this kind of question. And along with those questions, sometime UPSC keeps on asking about highlight with two events that have specifically happened in this particular year. Let's say cloudburst, let's say landslide, let's say cyclones, let's say certain kind of thunderstorm. Because these particular events are now increasing day by day, so there you can expect also the aspect of question which UPSC is asking, specifically highlighting these kind of events. Why the Bay of Bengal में जो cyclones ज़्यादा आते थे, why the number of cyclones have now increased comparatively even in the Arabian Sea also. Recurring related phenomena, thunderstorm. So basically UPSC keeps on asking these kind of questions. So these were the common issues that every student faces when it comes to the mains examination, or specifically we can say switching the preparation from the prelims to mains. Now what should be done in the last part of the preparation? I am saying last part because the preparation have already been done from your side. Now it is the time to consolidate. And one such another issue we can write here is the lack of consolidation, because human geography you might have read separately, economic geography you might have read separately, the climatology separately. So basically there is a lack of integration also. So in order to ensure the consolidation in one place only, integrating all these kind of things is the material which is the value added material of geography that we have released, right? So let's discuss briefly about what kind of benefits you are going to get and how these particular problems that will be solved eventually if you are referring to this particular value added material, right? So with respect to the value added material for geography, just a moment please. Okay. So basically this is the geography value added material, right? Now with respect to this particular material, there are certain unique aspects that makes this particular material a one-stop solution for your all the geography related aspects, right? So by this time you do not have that much time available to skim through, let's say, 1,000 pages book, right? So in this 200-page document, roughly 200-page document, that too more emphasizing upon certain kind of presentational tools, certain kind of PYQ analysis, certain kind of important thematic discussions that this document is providing, that will be one-stop solution for all. So let's discuss about what kind of features this material is going to provide you. So this material is divided into different themes which are important over a period of time, and that became more important from the geography related questions, right? So it is basically providing you the segregation in the form of geomorphology, climatology, oceanography. Then with respect to the Indian geography, which is the physiography of India, key distribution of the natural resources, and also the industries. Now all these kind of things are provided in detail along with the presentative tools. For example, when we are talking about geomorphology, different diagrams of the geomorphological features. Apart from that, the phenomena, why they are important, how UPSC is asking the question. So basically the PYQ analysis, the conceptual details, and also incorporating that particular thing with the current affairs as and when needed. Similarly with respect to climatology also, because we are seeing the rise of a lot of climatic events in the wake of the arrival of the global warming and the climate change. So basically these particular topics are providing you the entire aspect of what is the syllabus of UPSC geography from the mains perspective. Then there is oceanography, physiography of India, distribution of the natural resources, even the industries, right? Now what all are the important things that are there? Let's discuss them one by one. First is the integrated approach of this particular document. Now what is the integrated approach? That if there were questions about these particular topics in a last few years, let's say we are taking the reference from 2013 till today. So basically whatever UPSC had asked in the previous years, those particular questions are available at just the preface of that particular document. I'll show you the document also. But apart from that, the PYQ analysis, that what those particular questions intend to ask. For example, here with respect to this particular aspect of the subject which is oceanography, there are the ocean circulations, marine influence, all these kind of things, and how UPSC repeatedly asks the questions on the similar kind of topic. Similarly, with respect to the climatology, how the trend is getting changed, how the questions are linking different aspects, so that suppose if there is any new event that is happening tomorrow, so that particular thing how you have to refer to. So you already get certain kind of idea about those particular future events also, and how to integrate that particular thing from the preparation perspective. Then this particular document, as the name suggests, is the value added document. So basically what it is doing, it is adding the value to the content which you already have. Basically we are assuming over here that you might have done certain kind of foundational things, but we are not saying that for those particular things you are not getting anything in the document. So basically from the very basic even to the most advanced aspect with respect to this particular subject, you are going to get in this material. So the material is giving you a tool to concisely revise all the important themes that are there, important from this year's examination perspective. Then high impact value addition, which includes the fact, data, example, trends, all of them arranged in a thematic manner. And what kind of thematic manner? The way UPSC asks the question about those particular themes. Apart from that, there is a beautiful aspect that is incorporated in this particular document, is the current affairs integration. Now, as I have highlighted one issue, that we are preparing in silo. That means the current affairs we are preparing separately, the kind of static portion we are preparing separately, right? And there is an issue when we are integrating. So those particular things are already provided in the integrated manner in this document. Let's say there is a question on the cyclone, highlighting the trend of the recent cyclone and which particular region it has originated. So you do have a lot of examples available with respect to the recent cyclone. For example, cyclone Asna is there, then there is Asani and the Karim is there 2022, then cyclone Gulab's transition. So the region, the process, and also why they are unique, these are available in the form of like why there have been certain change in the trends of the cyclone. Similarly, the frequent thunderstorm in the northern India in 2025. So basically, UPSC has the tendency to ask these kind of high weightage topics, not necessarily available in the standard books, but yes, they are asking questions like this. They had asked about the twister, they had asked about the cloudburst, they had asked about GLOF, they had asked a lot of questions like the mental plume was also asked. So basically, in order to provide you the thematic coverage, these particular things in the form of boxed aspect are available in the value added document. Now, once you are already having the content, suppose you do have your foundational content available with you. Now, how to utilize that particular content in the actual examination, and also while writing the answer, these presentational tools are going to help you with this particular thing. How that is helping? This is going to provide you a lot of innovative opportunities or innovative aspect that how you can present your data. The document has a lot of maps, a lot of these kind of flow charts, a lot of tree diagrams, a lot of other things that you can incorporate as it is. And it's not like that we are giving you a lot of content and from that you have to cut down. So you can see basically that there were recent incidences of the Chamoli avalanche, BRO camp avalanche and near the Mana Pass, and also then 2023 avalanche in Sikkim. So the question can be very probably asked regarding the impact of the increasing avalanche, right? So basically there will be a process of avalanche occurrence, then there will be the human life loss, and then there will be a lot of other things that will be there. For example, infrastructural damage, triggering of the GLOFs, then there is the ecological consequences, then economic disruption, all these kind of things are there, along with certain kind of specific pointers that you are expected to write even in the answers. So basically this is going to give you an idea about how, if there is a two-part question, how you can arrange one part in comparatively lesser number of words in a better presentative tools, and that is also going to become the eye-catching aspect for the examiner, and the examiner is going to appreciate that particular thing if that is in the context of question. Similarly, factors triggering the GLOF, you can talk and explain like this only. Okay? There is the process and that particular aspect with the example that are mentioned. This is what the UPSC needs, right? So basically what we had discussed till now, that how this particular document is going to help you to basically initially when we highlighted certain kind of issues that you are facing with respect to the mains preparation. So let's say analysis of PYQ. So this particular document in the very beginning provides an idea about which were the PYQs of that subject and what is the key takeaways from the PYQs. Shifting from prelims to mains, so this is a 200-page document which is going to provide you the thematic coverage of all the important themes that are there from this exam perspective. It also incorporates the interdisciplinary approach. So for example, there are certain geomorphic or geographical phenomena that are covered in the climatology because they have comparative influence from the climatology, and UPSC is asking the question about those particular things. It is also providing a data, fact, current affairs, a lot of value addition with respect to this. Last but not the least, it is also going to provide you a lot of presentative aspects. So let's briefly see what is this particular document looks like. So basically if you see this particular document, just let me open this. Yeah. So let's see this particular document in a quick manner. So this is the document for the value addition, right? It is going to provide you all these kind of things: integrated approach, syllabus, PYQ-based structuring, then the static plus current affairs coverage, then the visual learning tools. Now you can see the coverage like. See, when a unit is starting, there are the questions that are provided, then there is a PYQ analysis that is being given. Then you can see there have been these kind of tables are being used, the interactive diagrams are being provided, so that the similar thing can be written in that particular manner only. The coverage is comparatively to the point, direct and precise. Basically, that is for the need of the mains examination. Apart from that, as and when needed, there are certain kind of flow charts, diagrams, there are other kind of things, presentative tools like this. These are incorporated in the document, so that you can also take cue from this, and similar kind of diagrams you can also incorporate in your answers. So basically, when you are going to revise the geography, take a look to this particular document, and definitely believe me, it is going to help you a lot. Now, having discussed all these kind of things, where you have to refer to in order to get this particular document. So on the VisionIAS website, I'll show you the path where you can see this particular document. So this is the place where you can access, you can go to the VisionIAS website where you can access this particular document in the means corner section. If you click on the means corner, all the resources for the means you can get in the general studies paper wise manner. So basically GS paper 1, you can get the document for history, geography, society. So for geography, refer to the geography. You can get this document, download it, and try to incorporate this for your preparation for this particular means, and believe me, it will be a one guide for each and everything with respect to the UPSC geography related things, right? And apart from that, there are certain other initiatives. Let's say Lakshya is there is test series, there will be Abhyas eventually, right? There is also PYQ Plus test series that is going to immensely benefit. So if you do want any kind of things, so reach out to the team at VisionIAS. So I hope the approach for coverage of the geography from the means perspective is clear to you. Thank you.